So what's the value level right now to enter long yen over the dollar?
I wouldn't, if you haven't already sold dollar yen, I probably wouldn't start now. Probably missed the boat a little bit. The last evidence we saw of the Bank of Japan was, up around that 141 area, and I do think that we've got a couple of weeks to run between now and the first Fed meeting and the Bank of Japan meeting. So, if we could see some sort of recovery back to over 135, between 135 and 140. I think that might be a better value than trying to say sell a break of that 130.41 August low that we're, it looks like the market's targeting right now, Heidi.
So if you had to choose, long yen against the euro or yen against the greenback?
Good question. I think the dollar yen's come down about 16% from its peak, and the euro yen's come down about 6%, maybe 6.5%. Now, you would think that maybe euro yen, selling euro yen might be a better price proposition, but there's a couple of factors there. Obviously, you've got Putin still misbehaving, and the ECB is, they've just started pushing off on their normalisation process of their policy. So until they get some sort of, they become clearer in their communication, it might be a little bit more choppy, that euro yen. So I still would prefer patience and try and sell dollar yen. A lot more people are on the trade already. I understand that, but it's not a straight line, and there will be recovery rallies, and people should wait for those.
So patience. What are you looking for the next trigger then? When is BOJ's next change in posture?
Well, everyone's expecting something to happen in April when there's a change at the top there. Currently, Amamiya is the favourite for that. Now, if he was to get the gig, he's been Kuroda's deputy for years and years and years now. So he understands the value of waiting it out, and he won't be rushed, as Kuroda wasn't rushed. So that would be a dollar yen positive. As from a trading perspective, but in terms of policy outlook, I think that the outlook for Japan's economy is still pretty weak. So the most you could expect at all from any sort of change in posture, I think the word pivot, to use the word pivot again, would probably be a bit strong. Maybe just a posture where maybe they remove from the forward guidance, words like further easing or something like that, just to say that they're not willing to ease further or something like that. That itself would elicit a result, and people would grab onto that and trade from that.